boys and girls. Welcome to Thursday's math lesson. Today you're going to be learning about conversions. How are you going to be converting all the different types of the metric units? I made here a cheat sheet for you that goes over all the measure of units for each category. You have seen all these before. This is the length, the measure of units we use. This is the capacity, how much a container holds. And then last but not least, you learned about the mass and weight conversions. So looking at these, we're going to go ahead and answer some problems. So let's say you have this problem here. This is focusing specifically on length since we're using centimeters. So we're going to be looking at length here. So follow along with me. Maria is 156 centimeters tall. The average 10-year-old girl in the US is 1 meter, 430 milliliters. Is Maria taller than the average 10-year-old girl? Now this problem is going to require actually multiple steps. So when you look at this problem here, notice how you're trying to decide if Maria is taller than the average girl. And the information that this problem gives us is that an average girl is 1 meter and 140 or 130 millimeters. So because we're using centimeters here, because that's what they gave us for Maria, we have to convert this to centimeters. So let's go ahead and focus here first. It's 1 meter. If 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, so we know that we're working with 100 centimeters plus, how many centimeters is 430? Okay, so when you look at that, watch what I do. I'm looking at this part here. I know that 1 centimeter equals 10 millimeters. So if I have 430 millimeters, right, and I know that 10 milliliters equals 1 centimeter, I'm going to have to divide 10, right? And then when I divide that, okay, you should be able to just get 43. And let me show you a little trick with division in your head. You just need to cover the zeros, and what you have left is 43 divided by 1, which is 43. And that's how you do simple mental math when you're working with tens. To check your work, you can do multiplication, or if you couldn't do the division, you could always have done, if you know that you have 430, I'm trying to figure out, right, because I know it's 10 times what equals 430? And I know 10 times 43 will equal 430 here. So because I changed my millimeters to my centimeters now, I know that 430 millimeters equals 43 centimeters. So 100 centimeters plus 43 centimeters will equal 143 centimeters. For 140 centimeters is the average 10-year-old girl in the US. So going back to the actual problem, we now have to answer, is Maria taller than the average 10-year-old girl? Pause here to think of your answer. Well, if you're thinking, if the average girl is only 143 centimeters and Maria is 156 centimeters, Maria is taller than the average US girl. Moving on to another problem here. Let's look at this problem. We're looking at Jasmine now. Jasmine is 1 meter and 38 centimeters. How many centimeters is Jasmine? So let's first, I know this is a two-part question, but let's first answer this question here. So it's asking us here, we know that 1 meter plus 38 centimeters is going to be Jasmine, but we have to figure out how many centimeters this is. So first, we have to figure out how many centimeters are in 1 meter. We're looking at our conversion chart. We know that 1 meter equals 100 centimeters, so I know that it's 100 centimeters. And luckily, they gave us already 38 centimeters, so all I need to do is add that up, and now I know that Jasmine is 138 centimeters. Here's the second part. Is she taller than the average 10-year-old girl? And remember, a 10-year-old girl in the US was 1 meter and 430 millimeters. We've already done the math. We know that the average girl in the US is 143 centimeters. So based on this information, we know that Jasmine is shorter. So we know that Jasmine is shorter. Okay, very good. Let's look at some other conversions here. So looking at this, I'm looking at liters and milliliters, which means I'm looking at the capacity here. So let's focus on that. So looking at the capacity, if I have 5 liters, how many milliliters is that? I want you to pause here to figure out this one out yourselves first. So hopefully you looked at the conversion chart here and saw that 1 liter equals 1,000 milliliters. So if I have 5 liters, I know that all I need to do is multiply that by 1,000, right? And I should be getting 5,000 milliliters. Very good. Let's look at the next problem here. The next problem is working with kilograms, which means that I'm looking at mass and weight. Okay, so looking at the mass and weight here, if I have 24 kilograms, how many grams will that be? Pause here to figure this out. Hopefully, when you looked at the conversion chart, you looked at the difference between grams to kilograms. So you know that 1,000 grams equal 1 kilogram, looking at this here, this conversion chart. So if I have 24 kilograms, I'm going to need to multiply that by the grams here, which is 1,000. And I know when I do 1,000, what I'm going to do is first cover the zeros. 24 times 1 is 24, and I'm going to add my 3 zeros. So 24 kilograms is going to equal 24,000 grams. Hopefully you see a pattern here. Notice how the number of the actual, the measured unit is the same. So if you look at 5 liters to milliliters, notice how the 5 is the same, but obviously the value is different, right? How many zeros do you add? Because remember, everything is based on 10. Looking at here, 24 kilograms, you still have the 24, but definitely a lot more than the kilograms because 1,000 grams equals kilograms, so 24,000. But notice how the numbers are, there are similar numbers to it, okay? So have fun today with your conversion. This cheat sheet here will be posted on Google Classroom, so make sure you have it in front of you to help you with the conversion today.